I want to ask you, 35 years ago, you said the problem of Africa in general and Uganda in particular is not the people, but leaders who want to overstay in power. And there you are going for a sixth term. Why do you think that's a good thing?
I mean, what do you think of the young people who do want change, who want someone else to govern? Do you think that that's not sensible? That was what you wanted as a rebel leader.
No, me, I did not. I was actually dying to work with old people.
He never answers questions directly. He deflects, engages in whataboutism, offers unsolicited lectures, and gaslights the interviewer, always.
You're watching Mordecai Marissa Live Political Commentary. Please consider subscribing to help grow Uganda's Voices of Struggle ecosystem. Thank you.
I cannot appreciate you enough for using your valuable time to always go on social media, break down things for people.
Leaders who want to overstay in power. Words of Yoweri Museveni when he had just ascended to power. What is his excuse now to legitimize his overstay in power?
Now, you've seen that your country has now changed the two-term rule.
I should pause to tell you. At first, they amended the constitution of the Republic of Uganda by removing the term limits. The man you see on the screen bribed members of parliament then in 2005 with each given 5 million shillings to betray the constitution. Term limits were removed.
Changed the age limit.
And when it came to the age limit, Museveni deployed his jack-booted thugs into the Ugandan parliament. They beat up members of parliament. They brutalized many. And the constitution of the Republic of Uganda was forcefully amended. Museveni used the elite soldiers under the Special Force Command that protects him were deployed in Ugandan parliament to make sure that the constitution is amended so that Museveni can stay in power. What is his excuse now to stay in power?
And there you are going for a sixth term. Why do you think that's a good thing?
You should check your facts. It is the fifth fastest growing economy in the whole world.
You know, at first when he said the problem of Africa leaders who overstay in power, he didn't say when their economies are booming and thriving. Absolutely not. But I will address his claims. Uganda is one of the most poorest countries in the world. I don't know where he gets his statistics, but he's a liar, as we've all known for him to be.
You should check your facts. It's about to become a middle-income country.
He's been promising Uganda to become a middle-income country since I don't know how many years.
Now, regarding the politics, the management of society, yes, I said staying in power for a long time without democracy.
His excuse now is without democracy. Ladies and gentlemen, during the 2021 elections, and we can go back, there was a time when he was running against Kizza Besigye. As we speak right now, Kizza Besigye, who used to be Museveni's main opponent, is in prison. He was abducted from Kenya and is being kept in prison for more than 1 year. Then in 2021, Bobi Wine was brutalized, many of his supporters and close allies killed. He was placed under house arrest. And in 2026, Museveni is doing the same thing. He said that the problem of Africa, what he meant was the problem with what the problem of Africa was leaders who overstay in power extra-constitutionally. Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at the face of that man. He's right there. Without democracy.
Without democracy, mark those words. But if it is the democratic will of the people.
I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, he never said without democracy. He's engaging in revisionist history. Now, I know many of you are heartbroken. Many Ugandans who have been wanting to see change. And your heartbreak goes beyond probably what you thought it would feel like. The African Union has once again engaged in legitimizing a brutal, dictatorial, tyrannical government. It has released a statement congratulating Yoweri Museveni. I'll go on and show you here. Information and Communication Directorate. Chairperson of the African Union Commission commends the conduct of elections in Uganda and congratulates President Yoweri Museveni on re-election. Commends the conduct of elections in Uganda. This is the African Union, an organization that was started in 1963 to help Africa to chart a way after so many years of colonialism where citizens' rights were abused and many countries were receiving their independence. Many of them, the likes of Kwame Nkrumah, Haile Selassie, and others said, it would be a brilliant idea to come together as African countries to build a bond that is going to help chart a new path for these countries so that we do not look like our former colonizers. Only for these guys, the liberators, to be worse than those that had colonized us for so long. They are right here now, legitimizing Museveni. They are commending the conduct of the election that was marred by violence, placing a political opponent into house arrest. But you won't be surprised. The same people did the same when it came to Tanzania. After over 3,000 people were killed, Samia Suluhu kept a firm grip on power by rigging an election and keeping her political opponent in prison. The African Union came up with a statement. Chairperson of the African Union Commission congratulates His Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan on election victory, reaffirms support for Tanzania. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know where you're watching me from, but we are on our own. We have to save ourselves. There's not going to be any other country coming to help us. It's going to be us. Because these organizations and individuals, we thought that they could be with us. They are accomplices in our brutalization, our suppression, our repression. They are friends, allies of our tormentors. It is really sad. And if you're watching me from Uganda, it is really easy to break your heart. But I've told you every time I'm presenting here, I usually have these words with me. Words of Martin Luther King Jr. We must accept the finite disappointment, but never lose hope, or never lose infinite hope. Do not lose hope. And how do we make sure we don't lose hope? We just have to keep going. We just have to keep going, ladies and gentlemen. There's no way out. We have to rise up non-violently and demand for what is rightfully ours. So as we are getting disappointed over what we see, the disappointment is finite. What is infinite is that hope that we have to save ourselves, our countries, our continent, and the entire world. And now, it takes me to one of the best poems I've ever read in my life. Langston Hughes writes, Mother to Son. I think I should read you that poem. Ladies and gentlemen, let this be a comforter. Please, let this be your couch in this particular moment, especially if you are from Uganda. Watch there. Mother to son, Langston Hughes, he says, well, son, I tell you, life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's hard taxing it, and splinters, and boards torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor, bare. But all the time has been climbing on and reaching landings and turning corners, and sometimes going in the dark where there ain't been no light. So boy, don't you turn back. Don't you sit down on the steps, because you find it's kind of hard. Don't you fall now. For I still going, honey. I still climbing. And life for me ain't been no crystal stair. Life it ain't gonna be crystal stair, ladies and gentlemen. Especially when you're dealing with a criminal regime of Yoweri Museveni. Life ain't gonna be crystal stair. But we don't have an opportunity. We don't get a chance of giving up. Because giving up is losing. And we ain't losing. That's Langston Hughes for you. I'll read one more time. Well, son, I tell you. Well, Ugandan, I tell you. Well, Tanzanian, I tell you. Well, Ghanaian, I tell you. Well, Nigerian, I tell you. Well, Ethiopian, I tell you. Oh, Ukrainian, I tell you. Life for me ain't been no crystal stair. The fight for freedom has never been a crystal stair. It's had tax in it. It's going to have tax in it all the time. And splinters and boards torn up and places where with no carpet on the floor, bare. But all the time has been climbing on. That's what we've got to do. And reaching landings and turning corners and sometimes going in the dark where there ain't be no light. So boy, so Ugandan, so Kenyan, so Liberian, so Somali, so Ethiopian, so Sudanese. Don't you turn back. Don't you sit down on the steps because you find it's kind of hard. Don't you fall now. For I still going, honey. I still climbing. And life for me ain't been no crystal stair. Our fights for freedom wasn't a crystal stair. Our founding leaders sacrificed lives. They kept fighting over and over again. They were disappointed. Many sacrificed life. Careers. Many were maimed. But they kept going. I usually talk about the fact that I am here in the USA. Not afraid that I'm going to be killed. Could it happen? Absolutely yes. But I'm here to enjoy some of the freedoms here because of the sacrifices that were made by people that I wasn't related to. There's no giving up. Wesley Laurie writes in the book, They Cannot Kill a Soul. He says, giving up shouldn't be an option. And I'll go and probably read you that. Those are verbatim what he says. I got a book here. Here's the book, ladies and gentlemen. They Cannot Kill a Soul. As he finishes this book, he writes the afterword in this book. He says, we have no choice but to keep going. Parkner told me, if one of the central demands of the movement is to stop killing us, and they're still killing us, then we don't get to stop either. I'll read these words one more time. We have no choice but to keep going. Parkner told me, if one of the central demands of the movement is to stop killing us, and they're still killing us, then we don't get to stop either. We don't give up. Giving up is not one of the options, ladies and gentlemen. We are up against a man who has got this mindset. Listen, as he refers to himself as one who invented the internet.
If I'm available, not dead, not senile, but I'm still around, and I have some knowledge.
With all signs of senility on his face, he says, if I'm available and non-senile and non-sick, why not take advantage of me? He looks at himself as the sole solution to the issues that the African continent people grapple with.
If you are really serious about your country, why would you not?
If you're really serious about your country,
want to take advantage of me?
He looks at you as unserious. If you want him to leave power, you're unserious.
If I'm still able.
I mean, what do you think of the young people who do want change, who want someone else to govern? Do you think that that's not sensible? That was what you wanted as a rebel leader.
No, me, I did not. I was actually dying to work with old people.
He never answers questions directly. He deflects, engages in whataboutism, offers unsolicited lectures, and gaslights the interviewer, always. That's his MO.
Because we needed them. Unless you are not serious, these problems are big.
There's a certain level of arrogance you should have to think that if people want to separate a different person to lead them, they're unserious. Pride and arrogance doesn't even begin to describe what you are.
Big problems.
These are big problems, and I'm the only one who can fix them. Sad.
And if you have got a big problem, the more hands, the better.
Youth unemployment, it's still very high, and young people feel like they need more opportunities. And when an internet shutdown happens, they feel repressed, they feel silenced because the internet is a tool of the youth. What are you offering them substantially over the next 5 years?
We are the ones who built the internet.
You heard that right. He says, we are the ones who built the internet.
The one you are talking about.
Oh, my Lord. Let me save you the blatant lies. Ladies and gentlemen, talking about the internet shutdown, this is one of the people that serve in the cabinet of Yoweri Museveni.
You did talk about
that's to internet. Internet, initially UCC said they had switched off, probably for security reasons. But then the latest I'm getting from my friends in Mombasa, a ship was passing by, it hit an internet cable into...
A ship was passing by, it hit an internet cable into two.
So they are trying to locate the other piece to connect it.
Reduce the misfortunes of the people of an entire nation into mere stupid jokes. A ship hit internet cables into two, and now they're trying to reconnect them. This is not AI. This is not artificial intelligence. This is a minister in Museveni's government laughing in the loss of billions of shillings as a result of the internet shutdown. These are the people that serve Yoweri Museveni.
that is information we cannot justify right now, but because the EC, UCC did release a letter.
It's so sad. It's so sad. These are people, official government voices we have to listen to. It goes beyond that. Before we went into the election, we had some of Museveni's advisors tell us we shouldn't even expect anything from an election.
Don't even think a day that will announce Bobi Wine. President Museveni, who's on chair, will still remain in chair. Never think on that day that Museveni will leave this power by voting. No.
Never think that any day Museveni will leave power by voting.
Don't waste our time.
Don't waste our time, he says. That's one of Museveni's advisors. It is really, really sad. And then what we witness now, it is the demonstration of people in Uganda and how the government is responding to all this. I'll go on and show you what's going on in Uganda. Look how they are arresting people, tying them like goats. The internet was shut down so that people are not able to see, to broadcast the lawlessness and the impunity of our government. But now they say, the African Union says, we command the election in Uganda and legitimize the victory of Museveni. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on our own. We are working with betrayers. It's unbelievable. Sickening, to say the least. But in the end, Martin Luther King has told us one thing, that the arc of moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Change takes a long time, but it eventually happens. We don't give up. The gentleman you see in the background, Nelson Rwakiela Mandela, spent 27 years in prison fighting the apartheid regime. He could have cut a deal maybe 1 year after his imprisonment. Could have cut a deal with the apartheid regime, maybe 10 years at Robben Island, saying, hey, after all, I had a wife, Winnie Mandela. He could have said, hey, I need to go back and meet my wife. 27 long years in prison. And he finally came to power, serving one term and peacefully handed over power. So may the spirit of Nelson Mandela remind you that in the end, the evil regime comes crumbling down. Just like the apartheid regime, it finally fell. And Museveni regime and the regime you're grappling with in your country will come crashing down. My name is Mordecai Morisa. And my message is, let's continue fighting. Let's continue resisting. Let's continue protesting. This is just the beginning of our liberation. We don't give up. Just like the convention is saying, winners never quit because quitters never win. We don't give up because then we won't win if we did. So we keep going. Let's go, Uganda.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.